pre-market looks strong. You see the pre-market opened here and it closes here. Buyers being stronger. Around here it started. Actually started, of course, here. It moved up. Consolidation. And here it started another move up. Of course, a very bullish sign in the right context. Hey all, hope that you're doing well. Lenny here, senior trader for P Capital Trading. Today I traded again live in the chat room, and let's take a look at the situation that the market gave us, the trade that I took, and other interesting situations. I had some technical issues directly after the open. While sharing my screen, it gave a little bit of a lag, so I couldn't profit from all the situations. Yeah, let's take a look. First of all, we had DKS. What do we see on the daily chart? We see here first the range. The price action found in the last week kind of a balance. Okay, so today we gap up. That's interesting. Then there could something happen, what we call the price discovery process, or perhaps it attract the buyers, or perhaps the parties who are like long gonna take profit, and there could be some selling pressure. And what did we see in the pre-market? The pre-market looks strong. You see the pre-market opened here and it closes here, and especially like in the second half of the pre-market, we could clearly see the buyers being stronger. Around here it started, actually started, of course, here. It moved up, consolidation, and here it started another move up. If we would calculate the 5-minute candle, there's only one red candle. The rest are all green. We see again like a move up, consolidation, and we end the pre-market at the high. So you see here, the last moment of the pre-market is the highest point of the pre-market. That's of course a very bullish sign in the right context. Then the market opens, and let's read the price action. First minute is not so relevant because it's a NYSE stock, New York Stock Exchange, and the volume in this time came in the second minute. The volume can come in a little bit later in NYSE stocks, and in this situation today in DKS, the volume came only in the second minute. So let's start reading from the second minute. This candle is a very strong candle. It's the candle where the volume came in, and you see like the price action came down and came up. So the buyers seem to be stronger. If we take a look at the size of the candle, you see that the price action also closes at around 80% of the length of the candle. So that was the opening range, because that's the candle where the volume came in, and I entered for the opening range break here. Pretty standard. Okay, let's read this candle. It's a green candle. It's still a strong candle, of course. Yeah, there's a little wick, but we still closed more than 50% of the candle. And the candle afterwards is a hammer candle. You see that still the buyers won in the end, even though it was a very small red body as well. However, more important, we can see that the volume was very low. So in that case, it signals us, or it could signal us, that maybe the buyers simply took a little pause. So it was not that the dumping came in of the sellers, but it was simply that the buyers took a little pause. So it's still a strong candle in its context. Then the candle afterwards is again strong. We see the hammer, the buyers won, and again around 80% of its size it closed. Together now we're also forming a 5-minute opening range, because the 5-minute opening range for the 5-minute opening range break is simply the first 5 1-minute candles. So this would be the first 5-minute candle, and here is then the break for the 5-minute opening range. So that would have been a very, very good entry, especially combined with this candle is very strong, this candle is strong, this candle is strong, this candle is strong. Also, of course, we're still holding this trend line together, also forming a triangle. So this is a clear entry if you ask me. The balance is clearly to the buyers. Of course, we already made quite a move, especially like if we consider here the low, and we the price action made, of course, a pretty big move. So it's not the idea, I think, if you get in here to go for a very long trade, but it's more like a scalp move. I think the balance is clearly for the buyers, so I think it would be great to enter here for a quick scalp move. Let's take a look at the other stock that I had on my watch list and that we potentially would have traded today. Hood. They had also coming from the range. You see here the range on the daily chart, and we had the gap up. And in the pre-market, first of all, you see here the range and the gap up. What did we see in the pre-market? First of all, the post-market yesterday. The price action seemed to first find resistance here. Here we found some kind of consolidation, seemed to have perhaps found support. And then today in the pre-market, we found support here, we found support here, support here, support here, support here. So my idea was, if it's holding above this level, we could go for a long, considering that we of course had the daily range gap up. And perhaps if it would fall below this area, which was in the post-market resistance and now support, we could try to find a short situation. And actually the perfect entry arrived. The perfect entry came for the thesis that we had before the market opened. However, because of the technical issues, I was not able to take it. So the first minute is a very weak candle. Opens, comes up, and closes very low. It's a very clear bear candle on 1.7 million shares traded, which is really a lot. Second candle is like an inside candle, low volume, not really interesting. Could be like a pause, something else could happen. It's of course still too early for an entry short. We need to see more confirmation. And then the third candle comes in this area that we discussed. It was like first yesterday resistance in the post market, support in the pre-market, and where we fell today below this area. In the third candle, we're clearly rejecting from it. Price action said no, we want to stay below it. Apparently it's now used by market participants to actually dump their position. So then here it's a very clear entry for the short, if you ask me. And in the end also who stayed all the way below this level. It came one more time here around noon to this level, and then it came all the way down. It sold off for the rest of the day. The other interesting situation today was Tesla. Actually, there were way more interesting situations, but for discussing it in this recap, it was Tesla. Tesla yesterday broke down and was weak, and the weakness in Tesla continues. Today, we seem to fall below it again. What did we see in the pre-market? In the pre-market, we saw like this squeeze up. But you saw that squeeze. So first of all, we were already short biased. It could have been like a second day run. Yesterday, we closed all the way at the low of the candle while we're broken down from this range. So today, we could perhaps consider it for another move down. If the sellers are really strong, it could take multiple days. Pre-market price action, we see the squeeze up. Perhaps something new, I'm not really sure what it was in the end. And we see the selling happening. Okay, market over, we see again strength and again selling happening. It seems to me clearly that like every time the price action comes up, it's used by market participants to actually dump the positions. So here, at this point, the price action falls actually below the pre-market low. At that point, I think it was a little bit late to go short, because the price action, of course, already made like this a very big move. But then it could be looking for potential more additional selling pressure to take the trade short. And I think that selling pressure came. You see, like on the 5 minute, you see like the wick, selling pressure, selling pressure, selling pressure, holding below this pre-market low. Also on the 5 minute, you see it, you see it, you see it, you see it. And also like here later, you see the low of the day. Price action holds here and then falls below it, rejects again. So I think this has also been a clear entry. So there were, I think, entries possible for the continuation short in Tesla that continued on the weakness on the daily chart. And you see it here on the 50-minute chart. You see it better. You see also the selling pressure at the pre-market low. And in the end, Tesla sold off again for the rest of the day. You can see it here and you can see it here. This was my recap. If you have any questions on opening range break trading or trading directly after the open, you can always send me a mail at lenny@pcapitaltrading.com. And I see you soon again.